Hello, hello, hello. How are we? Hope you're having a lovely day. Every single one of you, wherever you are watching around the globe. If you are watching on YouTube or if you are watching on Facebook as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, the follow button on Facebook. And before we do kick off today's show, if you could please drop a like on the video. Really does help the algorithm on both platforms. Anyway, got a packed show for you today, Reds, as well. Most importantly, I want to gauge all your thoughts and opinions. Most importantly, that's the most important aspect of this show. It doesn't really matter what I say. More bothered about what your interaction, really, your thoughts on all today's stories. A couple of these are very much rumour based in reality, in terms of obviously attacking Minamino, Gini Wijnaldum as well. Obviously, and Romy, obviously getting a move to Forrest by the looks of it. Interesting move. The ex-Liverpool player, the academy. Obviously, he's had a tremendous spell in Germany, just gone anyway. Of everyone was about £4, £5, £6 million move to the German side. Anyway, we'll speak about that anyway. But make sure you do get your comments in the comment section below as well, Reds. And as you can see there, I will be starting hopefully a Patreon that will be getting up and running very, very soon in reality. If you would like to get involved or let me know, engage in feedback on that as well. It'd be more structured around yous, and obviously in the long term, it helps push on the channel. Most importantly, get all yous involved as well. Can hopefully one day get a studio and really hopefully it allow me really to push on the production levels and every aspect of obviously the creative process, really hired editors and all that malarkey. But I don't want to bore you with that. But obviously I will be getting that started, and the links will be in the description as of the 25th as well. You don't need to subscribe anyway. Enjoy doing the free content. But it would really mean a lot anyway if you want to do that. You don't have to, but really appreciate every single one of you. That'd be on the journey for the last 5-6 years of obviously YouTube content creating. I started this as a fun, and I still do it really in reality. But I just enjoyed the interaction. I've had the great privilege of being on a lot of great YouTube channels in the last 5-6 years. And I really do appreciate and everyone that has come on my show took the time out as well. Really do appreciate everyone. But if you would like to get involved, Connor, I'm not so sure if you're busy. I will drop you a link on Twitter, Con. You're very welcome to come on anyway, mate. But yeah, but the Gini one, I'm a massive no. But we'll start off obviously with the big Gini Wijnaldum one anyway. It has been circulating over the last 48 hours in reality. It has been that of rumour, i.e. But it has been a posed question on social media. For me, I can understand the positives and the negative side to potentially bringing Gini Wijnaldum back to the football club. If it was in relation to a loan, a 12-month loan, and Liverpool were not paying, say, 70% of his wages, and obviously PSG did take a large majority of that fee, and we more or less got him on a free. And we spoke about obviously Jude Bellingham and Liverpool being light in midfield, not in case of not light, but if injuries do occur next season, he's still got a lot of qualities, and it was quite harsh. And it's the grass isn't as always greener on the other side, as we said, and you've all known, everyone that's been watching me for the last couple of years as well. I did do a video, was it last year? If you want to delve too deep into the channel anyway, we did do a midfield talk in reality, and Gini was on my chopping board in reality. I had him, Ox. I've done the video with Ricky. I try and get that. I try and dig that up anyway this week and revisit that video anyway. But it's a massive no for me for getting Gini back into the football club on loan, regardless. I still think that I can see the positives and the negative sides, but it's a no for me. But it's dependent on who the availability of certain midfielders. You've got to think long term. Obviously, Thiago Alcantara he's got a year or year and a half left on his current contract. Apologies, I'm incorrect there, but he's fastly approaching a potential contract extension if his current deal does run out in the next year, 2 years anyway. But yeah, for me, it was a question that I've seen on social media from a lot of people anyway, posting a question. It's really interesting to see everyone's different aspects, and this is why the point of my channel as well. Agree to disagree as well, as long as I said in the message at the bottom of I don't think too much into all this really. I don't think too deep into transfers. I'm just quite chill. But yeah, I'm more interested in terms of what your thoughts and opinions are, everyone as well. But get to everyone's comments. I'm intrigued to see what everyone's thoughts. Obviously, we'll speak about Taka Minamino as well. There's a great article. I think it's from the Evening Standard. He's got interesting comments to say the least. Anyway, on his current the last 12 months at Liverpool. Anyways, as you can see, he's angry and he's got regrets from last season. Anyway. No, but would have Gini back. Not good enough. It's fair enough, Data. I'd agree with you there, mate. Could see Gini moving back to the Premier League, but not in a Liverpool shirt as well. There, Con. Fully agree with you there, fella. No, I don't want him back. Sebastian, I think I haven't even polled this, but I think a large 95% majority of you will be saying no. And for me, that is a clear indication of just no anyway. As well, Forrest looking to sign in and Dean Henderson this week. Is that Sebastian News? Is that Nketiah? Apologies about I don't think that's Nketiah. I'm not too sure on that. It's because Nketiah has obviously just signed a new contract. But it'd be a good sign in Dean Henderson, Sebastian, for Forrest. We'll speak about obviously the ex-Liverpool striker, the academy lad, the Nigerian forward a bit later. And it's interesting in relation to that story. Liverpool, if the report, well, we'll speak about it, but Liverpool is supposedly potentially going to be getting a slice of that transfer fee of 7.5 million. And that would help Salah's contract or whatever you want to put that money towards, the canteen, an extra changing room at the facility at Kirby as well. Hello, Jack. Hope your chest is better. Sorry, I didn't jump on the PS. No worries, Andrew. And thank you very much, mate. As you can tell, got a bit of a groggy throat, so apologies that I'm not me usual scouser. Scouse Police anyway. How you doing now as well? Vinny signed contract till 2027 with Real Madrid. I could see them winning both La Liga and the UEFA Champions League coming season as well. Obviously, Luka Modric did sign his contract. I mean, it was Sebastian in chat as well. He's a massive talent. Vinny Jr. Yes, he scored the winner against us this season. We all know in the Champions League, but he's a really talented footballer. I think he will very much elevate his standing in the Brazilian national side. What's your thoughts? I know it's off topic, but for me, I'm not a massive fan of Neymar. I haven't been since the only time he was good was obviously the Barca days. I think he should, if he stayed at Barca a couple more years, potentially, I think that would have elevated his career. I think he's massive in Brazil, but is he quite close behind Pele's record in relation to Brazil in terms of knockout goals? Or probably wrong there, but for me, Vinny Jr. will 110% surpass Neymar's legacy in a Brazilian shirt and in terms of a playing career as well. Vinny Jr. He's got an absolutely tremendous career ahead of him. But for me, Neymar, massively overrated. Couple of step overs here and there. Tell you what, get him in the Liverpool system, you wouldn't even track back or nothing. And we've seen that, especially over the last couple of seasons in Ligue 1. Probably one of the most overrated players in world football for me over the last 5-6 years. His time at Barca was quality in Messi and Suarez. Those three, when they were on tip-top form, were electric. But since I'm moving from Barca, not really off topic, so enough for Neymar. Don't think you can get a second chance with Klopp. When you go, you're gone. 100% they're north as well, mate. 100%, 100 million percent in reality there, fella. It sums up the whole Gini. As I said, I didn't want to touch too much on it. It was a case of, as I said before, top of the show, everyone. I've seen it banded around social media. For me, my standpoint, I would not personally like to see Gini Wijnaldum back, but I can understand where people are coming from if they wanted to see Gini come back to the football club. But as Connor said in a lot of views already, we can foresee him getting a deal within a Premier League team. I think he would suit quite a lot of Premier League teams. A player of his quality coming into the Premier League, he knows it. His time at Newcastle with Liverpool as well. Even like a Forrest, a lot of clubs in and around the Premier League as well now, in terms of the Championship football, the teams that do get promoted. I think it was, is it Forrest, Paul's chat? I think Forrest rumoured, we say they've got a transfer war chest of about 100 and something silly millions anyway. But if that is the case, we've seen Fulham in the past spend quite heavily and not really beared fruits in reality over the last 12 months of when they've been knocked out of the Premier League and they've got a quite high wage budget. It's not really favoured, but I think with Forrest, they play football the right way. They nearly knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup. We all remember that last season. If they're certain players within their squad had their shooting boots on in the second half, then it could have been another story. But thankfully, Liverpool won the FA Cup this season just gone. But they were giving us kittens certain moments in that second half. But yeah, 100% North. I think a large majority of everyone. And if you are watching this on the repeat, and you just see the title and you go, right, blah, blah. Like, not blah, blah. You go, no, I don't want Gini. Please be constructive with your answer. I know it's the title. People just look at the title and go, oh, no, don't want Gini. But please elaborate in the comments if you are watching on the repeat as well. I'm intrigued to see everyone's thoughts and opinions behind it as well. All right, the fame. I think this is Luke from the 1892 Reds podcast. I think it is. I'm rubbing off on him since he's come down to Liverpool anyway, getting the lingo anyway. Gini's agent is using Liverpool to get a move somewhere like West Ham, Newcastle, etc. I wouldn't take him back. 100% agree with you there. Gini to Newcastle would be good. It would be good though. They need a centre mid like him. 100%. Chat, are you surprised that they've not moved for, who was it? The Brazilian Leon midfield that's completely gone on my head anyway. Not Bruno, that they've currently got a Newcastle, but Bruno, no. The other Brazilian, Leon, you all know, gone on my head. That's a French centre-back from Mainz. Oh, is it Sebastian? Yeah, I wasn't too aware of him anyway, mate. So, be interesting. I know West Ham, as you were saying there, mate. I know West Ham have made a signing of a centre-half. I was speaking to my mate Bill on his channel today, and obviously they've made a £30 million transfer of a centre-half. So, a lot of money is getting spent from not just Liverpool, and we've seen Arsenal over the last 48 hours, supposedly, stepping up interest in a lot of key areas. Obviously, Rafinha has been heavily linked over the last 24 hours. That potentially, what do you think on that one, chat? I know it's a bit different in terms of what I'm intrigued. Do you think that'll be a good signing? Obviously, it will improve. It's improvements on Pepe. I think me or you would be an improvement on Nicolas Pepe down that right wing anyway for Arsenal. And that doesn't get talked about enough. I think when I was doing transfer videos all those years ago, when we were supposedly rumoured, we were never in for them, but you had to do transfer videos, and everyone was having a meltdown about, we've not gone in for them. But was it 70 odd, 80 odd euros that Arsenal bought Pepe from? Is it Leo? The latter they say about that, then it's probably not one of the best transfers in Premier League history anyway. I like the Spurs women's team signed that player called Spence, and everyone thought it was, was this Sebastian? Oh, it's great. Hopefully we'll do a lot more ladies content. If there's any watchers of obviously ladies football, I'd love to get that on the channel a bit more this season as well. So if anyone's a bigger watcher in terms of ladies football. There's always a segment on my channel as well. If anyone wants to reach out as well, always got a platform as well, because it does deserve. And I made up that women's football over the last couple of years, it's been getting a lot more exposure, and quite rightly so. Obviously it's not getting the funding as the men's team, but it's not happening as quick as the ladies want in relation to the development in terms of the speed. But I think eventually, give it 20, hopefully it's a bit more less than 10, 15, 20 years, but in terms of going in the right direction. But I think if it can step up the anticipation, I think a lot of the I don't reviews watch the Champions League football for the ladies. It was all broadcasted on YouTube. I did watch a couple of games anyway. Tremendous football as well. But as I said, Gini, Gini coming back would be backwards move in my opinion. 100% agree with you there, Doug, as well. Yeah, of course. There you go, lad. I honestly don't think Neymar has ever been good. Never watched him and went, wow, he's a good player. Just a hype train. I think all of us, when we watched Ronaldinho, I don't know if you grew up in a generation. I grew up as a young kid. I used to sit in IT lessons watching Ronaldinho and a certain Leo Messi break through the academy under Rijkaard. Given the opportunity as a little kid. You used to watch Messi compilations when he was about 14, 15. The whole of world football knew Messi was going to be Messi. And it was remarkable that the stuff he was doing at training at the age of like 14, 15, 16 years old. And he's become the phenomenon. But I think Neymar stood out in that Barca team as well, because he had Messi as well and he had Suarez as well. I think Suarez's assists don't get talked about. That season he had in La Liga was absolutely phenomenal as well. A couple of years back anyway. Gods, is this serious, Hannah? In relation to the Gini Wijnaldum one, Han, it was just in over the last 48 hours, I think I've seen on social media that I was begging the question, really, people throwing a question out there. I was more intrigued, but I think, judging from the first couple of minutes of when we did start this video, large majority are in the camp of saying, no, we don't want Gini back, and I'm in that camp as well. But yeah, I think we are going to win it with Ox staying, so the midfield is window, 100% there north. Forrest would be a good move for Gini, more his level. Later, I'd say Lalu, he's in the camp of, it'd bring Gini Wijnaldum back for 12 months. That is what it potentially would be, a 12-month loan with PSG. It's bad enough Liverpool trying to offer Gini more money or a longer term contract. Christ, imagine trying to renegotiate transfer, like a wage packet for Gini if he did come back. It'd be like walking back into the principal's office when you're being like put on detention or something. It's like, hello. I'd take Gini back as well. You're right, Jack. Of course it was, lads. Lucas Paqueta, there we go, Andrew. That's the one, Jack. Also, Liverpool have done incredible business. Whether we go for anyone else from the sales, we'll make it. Could sign someone someone we've never heard of. Oh, that's been the Liverpool way over the last couple of years, and Andrew, 100% agree with you there, mate. I'd love the women's team to get more coverage. They'll be back in the WSL now as well. And it was great to see them obviously parading, obviously their trophy. The back end of the season, obviously went out with the lad from the main team. Obviously, I think it was the under 18 or a certain under 20 team as well that did win. I think the FA Cup or the FA Cup, one of the trophies anyway. As well, so I knew it was very nice, really polite, but no way back is our past 100%. Could we really be getting Gini back? Ravi, now we've outgrown him. We 100% have. Surprised Jack hasn't managed it. Oh, Connor, that's for tomorrow, Con. Christ. We'd be here all night. You all know, everyone, I'm a massive fan of Barella. Have been for a very long time. And that was even before he did sign his contract at Inter Milan. But if you throw 80, 100 million at Barella, at Inter. Sorry, imagine throwing a umbrella, you'd be snapping your hands off. But at Inter, they would take it. They would take it. Not at the minute, North. I think it's more speculation, like the majority of most stuff is. But with Liverpool, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, certain rumours do pick up pace. I think the things with obviously Ramsey and Nunes, I think the last couple of weeks and last couple of months in reality, there was a massive indication from the press and the Liverpool side in terms of the journalism, the very well-respected journalists out there. We all know the names that we need to look out for as well. But I haven't seen anything in the last 24 hours. I've seen rumours, but I haven't seen anyone really real credible in relation from the Liverpool camp in terms of the journos. Speaking about Barella, I think it's more rumour-based. And even if it was the case, Inter would command at least easy £100 million. He's their star asset. He's such a still young, talented player, won the Euros as well. So he's obviously just won the league title with Inter. Not last season, because obviously was it AC that won it last season? I mean the year before that anyway, as well. But we'll move on. Obviously, we spoke about Gini. It's a massive no from every single one of us. I think 99.9%. I think there was one of the, I think it was, who was it? Was it Lalu? Lalu said he would, but obviously everyone, this is why I do these shows, getting everyone's opinions anyway. So we spoke about Gini and potentially moving into the football club on loan. And this one was an interesting one, chat. I don't know if you missed it, but I will read out these little quotes from Taki Minamino in terms of what he did give to the Evening Standard. Taki Minamino reveals regret and anger over lack of Liverpool opportunities. Taki has revealed his frustration over the lack of first-team opportunities he has been given at Liverpool. As quoted, even if I left the results, there wasn't much response. I was trying to inspire myself to prove my worth. I was doing personal training other than team training. I was thinking I would leave something behind when I went to the match mentality. I felt motivated by regret and anger every day. I've never had this much time as a player. I've never had this much time to not play as a player. It was difficult to maintain the conditioning and connect with my feelings, but it was a season that seems to have grown. It was disappointing but fulfilling at the same time. It makes sense to play an important game and leave a result. So it is said that I got out and got a result, but I do not think it was a big deal. I want to do my best to be a player who can produce results in important games. Taki, oh bloody hell, Taki seems down, and quite rightly so. You can understand where Taki's coming from, and Taki, if you're not watching, fella, but if there's any Japanese fans as well, Japanese Reds as well, we love Taki. And I tell you why, if it wasn't for Taki, we would not have won the FA Cup and we would not have won the League Cup as well last season. I understand. I think we all do from a player perspective. In reality, he's a Japanese international as well. He wants to be playing more first team opportunities. But in reality, as much as we all want him to start, I don't think he's hit the required level of. He's not going to get ahead of Salah. He's not going to get ahead of Diaz. So it's going to be difficult. And we spoke about Taki potentially moving in this window. It has been reported over the last couple of days, well, last week anyway, heavily linked with a move away from Liverpool Football Club. And it is quite heavily reported that Liverpool would be willing to let Taki Minamino go for in and around 15 to 20 million pounds. If a fee of that did get generated for the player. But as you can see, you can understand from those quotes his disappointments, and it's him as a professional. I think all of us, even if all of us were professionals, regardless of what club you're at, you want to be playing first team football day in, day out. As I said, he was taking extra training sessions, trying to improve as well. But I don't think he's really chat with you. Let me know your thoughts. I don't think he's really adapted to the English style football. I think if he bulked up a bit more, or if he had a bit more regular first team football, but I think similar with Trent over the last 24 months, he's very much bulked up. We've seen Trent burst onto the scene at Liverpool as a young kid, and he was a kid, but he's matured into a man, not just on the on-field performances, but as a physical presence on the pitch as well. And you see that with Naby Keita as well. He's bulked out a bit more, and that was needed for Naby in terms of protecting him from any potential injuries. And I think if we're not expecting Taki to stay at the football club, I think we're all in the same notion of that. But if he was to bulk up, or potentially go back to Austria or a German side anyway. But yeah, I hope Taki gets a good move this summer. But yeah, Hannah, he has been linked with obviously Taki, with a move to Leeds. Obviously, Jesse March is ex-manager in Salzburg as well. So it does make sense, Hannah. But I'm really disappointed. Oh no, that's a bad sign. He's speaking publicly. He must be going. Yeah, North. Yeah, he is. I will leave all the links to all the stories as well, everyone, in the description. So if you want to read it more in depth, I was quite not disappointed on his behalf, but I can understand the emotion when you're reading certain players' comments. He cares about Liverpool. It's just a matter of he's not going to get the desired game time really required. Taki was lightweight. I love that he did in the cups, but he needs a bit more about him. Couldn't have said it any better there, North as well, mate. And we'll move on to the two final stories now as well, everyone. The two main ones in reality. The Asensio one, don't read too much into it, everyone. I think it's quite rumour based. I can't foresee this happening. In terms of obviously Marcus Asensio, he did score 10 goals in the Spanish La Liga last year. His market value is in around £36 million. He's 26 years old. He can predominantly play on the right wing, and he can play in that left wing position and predominantly an attacking midfielder role. If Liverpool did manage to move out, as we just mentioned, Taki, or we did manage to move on and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. But if I was Marcus Asensio, I don't understand why I'd leave the football club. Let's have a quick look at his contract expires June 2023, so that's next summer when his last contract extension was back in the 28th of September in 2017 anyway. So he did sign a 5-year, a 6-year deal back in 2017 anyway. So interesting. But Hannah's going with the lines of I'd love Asensio. Not for me, mate. Going backwards. Yeah, 100% there, the Anfield lark. I don't think you've just dropped in there, mate. But thank you for dropping in, mate. As I said, if you just jumping in, everyone, it was I think a 95 or 97% of us all agreed. No. I just wanted to gauge your thoughts and what you all thought. Anyway, if you're all watching repeat, let us know. But I was a massive no, especially considering the interviews in which he did give out to the press when he did Liverpool. He more or less outed Liverpool's fans, especially on social media as well. Really, it wasn't good to see him, mate. But hopefully you're well, mate. Thank you for tuning in as always. Hannah as well, and North. I've read that one, mate. Keep on getting your comments in as well. But for me, Marcus Asensio, in reality, I don't see this coming to fruition, really. In reality, I think it's quite rumour-based. But this is coming from, obviously, via Sports Bible. According to AS via Sports Bible, several clubs are keen on the 26-year-old, and Liverpool have indicated to the player's agent, supposedly, they are big fans of Asensio. However, after completing a deal for the defender Calvin Ramsey last week, it seems that Liverpool's business in the transfer in terms of incomings has concluded, and other clubs around Europe have also been linked with the Real Madrid man. I think it is a case, as we were speaking about with certain other players a bit before at the top of the show, everyone, similar with Gini, agents of certain players putting Liverpool's name into the hat. It generates clicks. It gets us speaking about it. It works because it gets his clients or their clients out into a bigger domain in reality, and it gets more eyes on the player potentially if he is angling for a move away from the football club. Anyway, I don't think he himself would want to move away from Real Madrid. He's won a couple of Champions League, not too bad, is he? So he's had a good time at Real Madrid. He did have a couple of bad injuries, I think a couple of years ago anyway. Paul, I'm not too sure on what those injuries were, but I think they were quite lengthy ones. He did come through when Real Madrid did sign him. I think it was from Real Mallorca, was it? Let's quickly get his up. Was it Real Mallorca, I think? Yeah, Real Mallorca, B-side as well, from the under-19s. So he come with a glowing a glowing resume in Spain at his young age. But as I said, he's been at Real Madrid for the last 6 years now as well. And you would have expected him really to kick on and establish himself as a first-team regular. I think Zinedine Zidane didn't really fancy him in terms of obviously the forward line. You're not going to get ahead of Angel Di Maria when Di Maria was playing for Real Madrid. You're not going to get ahead of Benzema or Ronaldo either, are you? Or Ozil when at his time when he was at Real Madrid as well. So yeah, he did score 10 goals. He picked up in 31 appearances, and he did pick up 2 yellow cards as well last season. So he's got an eye for goal. But a year left on his contract. For me, everyone, more bothered what you think about this deal. Supposed rumour anyway. I don't think it's anything will come of this. I think, as I said before, it's more agents putting Liverpool's name into the hat, trying to generate a bit more traction in terms of their agents and more publicity for them as well. And then we're going to the final one anyway, everyone. And this is coming from obviously Nottingham Forest. Quite a lot of Nottingham Forest papers are very much picked up on this. The local news. Nottingham Forest are reportedly in advanced talks to sign Union Berlin centre forward Taiwo Awoniyi for a club record of £17.5 million for the 24-year-old. Has a release clause that the Reds are reported to be meeting. That's not Liverpool, that is Forest anyway. Process to bring the Nigerian international to the City grounds. It would be Taiwo's first time in England. It won't be his first time in England anyway. And they go on to discuss about Liverpool. I think it was difficult getting him a work permit. I think it has helped massively that he has established himself. I think he got a quick look at his stats last season. In terms of 31 Bundesliga appearances, he did register 15 goals, 2 assists, 1 yellow card as well, and in 6 Europa Conference appearances last season, he did register 2 goals as well. And is that the Bundesliga Cup? Yeah, and he registered two assists, 1 goal in 4 appearances in the Bundesliga, the equivalent of the DFB Pokal in the 2001-2002 season, so last season anyway. So let me know your thoughts on this. The main thing in relation to this story as well was Liverpool potentially will be getting, I'm not too sure 100% on the percentage, but it would be in and around about, I think it was about 2 million or 1.5 million pound anyway, if this fee of 17.5 million, his release clause does get activated. So it will give Liverpool, you'd be surprised the amount of players Liverpool have sold on, and the good work from Michael Edwards and Julian. Well, obviously Michael Edwards over the last couple of years anyway, in terms of selling players. That's a good thing that Liverpool, as well as bringing players in, players that we let go at the football club, we've always got those clauses of percentages if a player does get sold to a club that we've sold them to, and then they do get sold on to another club down the line, Liverpool will get a percentage on quite a large majority of the recent transactions in which the players have left Liverpool Football Club. So it'd be interesting on the official announcement how Liverpool, I think it's in around 2 million, 1.5 million pounds, and potentially Liverpool could be recuperating from this potential deal as well. As I said, it'll be intriguing. He's a big physical lad anyway. He's 24 years old as well, and he thrived in Bundesliga last year. And obviously, as I said, he's coming at the right age, and I think if he was to come to Forrest, let me know your thoughts. He will have a point to prove. I think if he is playing against Liverpool this season as well, not that he'd want to score, but he'd want to prove Liverpool wrong for allowing him to go and selling them, really, because obviously he spoke in the past of wanting to play for Liverpool Football Club, but it was difficult in relation to he wasn't going to get ahead of our current crop of young players as well, and players at that time as well. Mane, Salah, and Bobby Firmino were at their pomp in reality when he was a very young player as well. So 24 years old. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. He's a big lad as well. I think he's in around 6 foot, and he's a big physical presence. He's valued at 18 million, so it is accurate, really, that buyout of 17.5 million. But if he does go to Forest, and that is very much expected to go through in next couple of days anyway. So once that does get boxed off, Liverpool will be getting a couple of pennies back off that deal, which is really positive to see. And it's good. It shouts out to obviously Julian Ward and Michael Edwards over the last couple of years as well in relation to getting these deals out the football club. I think always we speak about Liverpool's recruitment in terms of how good it is in relation to bringing in players, but in terms of Liverpool outlaying, in terms of players leaving the football club, we sell them at the right age and the right price as well. We all remember the Bournemouth transfers all those years ago. How Edwards sold was Dom Solanke for 20 odd million, and Jordan Ibe for in and around 10-15 million as well. And madness. But that's what happens when you're good at your job and you're good at in terms of selling players. I don't know what Michael Edwards says to all these agents, but he must big them up to bigger heights anyway. But he does a fantastic job, Edwards, anyway, and it'd be sad to see him go, but he's in good hands in Julian Ward anyway, and he's made a great start to his Liverpool career already this year as well. But let's get to John's comments. Big up, Jack, mate. How you doing, John, as well? Shelley's gone with no. Still free. There's no one to come in as well. No, Gini, Shelley's going 100% there, Shelley. I think all of us would agree. Liverpool's defence good. We need a midfielder and a striker who will beat any team next season. Fingers crossed, Shelley. There's still a long way to go, isn't there? But it was only going to be a short video, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Absolute bloody legends. So let me know your thoughts on Marcus Asensio. Taiwo getting his move to Forrest by the looks of it for £17.5 million as well. And obviously, we spoke about Gini Wijnaldum. We're all in full agreement. We don't want to see him at Liverpool Football Club, but I think he will get a deal in the Premier League, potentially at one of the smaller teams anyway, on loan. Might that be said? It wouldn't surprise me if he went to Arsenal. There's something about Gini Wijnaldum potentially going to Arsenal because they'll be quite desperate in relation to Arsenal Football Club in reality of getting the right players in and out. But I think Gini Wijnaldum screams to me, I don't know why, but it screams to me that it would go to Arsenal on loan. Because it was the ex-Real Madrid midfielder, well, the fella that Caballos, they had him on loan last season or the year before, which was a bit of a mad one. But it screams to me he'd potentially go to it. But let me know your thoughts on that as well. Your thoughts on what Taki's had to say as well. As I said, all the links of all these articles will be in the description as well. Most importantly, thank you for every single one of you for tuning in. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, night, wherever you are watching around the globe as well. I really do appreciate all the support, as always. Absolute bloody legends. And we'll be live. If anything news relation breaks concrete in reality, I will be getting a live stream out straight away. Or if anything does happen, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you there as well. Absolute bloody legends. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you very soon tomorrow. See you later, everyone. Ta-ra.
Shut up and sit down.